All right, today we're diving deep. We're going to tackle one of the oldest and biggest questions there is, the mystery of the self. So let's just start right there with a question that, well, it sounds simple, but it's anything but. Who are you? Like really? I mean, sure, you've got your name, your job, maybe you're a parent or a friend, but are those things you? Are they just labels? What if the real you, the core of who you are, is something else entirely?
Okay, so where do we even start with a question like that? Well, let's look at the usual suspects, right? The go-to answers we all have when we try to define ourselves. But you're about to see why these answers just don't quite hold up.
Yeah, this is the stuff we grab onto. I'm my body, right? Or I am my mind, my intellect, my personality, that's me. But here's the catch, and it's a big one that thinkers from way back pointed out. Every single thing on this list changes, all of it. Your body is definitely not the same as it was 10 years ago. Your thoughts? They change minute by minute. Nothing here is permanent.
And that right there is the big mystery, isn't it? Everything about you seems to be shifting and changing all the time. But there's an I in there that feels constant. The you that remembers being a kid is the same you that's listening to this right now. So what is that? What is this part of you that never seems to change?
Well, if you look at ancient wisdom, like from the Upanishads, the answer isn't out there somewhere. Nope, the clues, they say, are hidden inside us. And the best place to look is in the different states of consciousness we go through every single day.
Okay, so Exhibit A, the waking state. The technical term is Vaishvanara. This one's easy. It's you right now. Your awareness is pointed outwards, taking in the world through your eyes, your ears. You're dealing with the physical, tangible stuff. This is our default mode, the one we're most familiar with.
Then, Exhibit B, the dream state, or Taijasa. Think about this. Your body's asleep, your senses are offline, but your consciousness, it's going wild, is turned completely inward, building entire worlds out of nothing but memory and imagination. And when you're in it, boy, does it feel real.
And last, Exhibit C, deep, dreamless sleep. This is prajna. This is that state where there's nothing. No dreams, no thoughts, not even a sense of me. Your mind just stops. It's like your personal identity completely vanishes into this peaceful, empty space.
Okay, so here's the million-dollar question. You experience all three of these states, right? The busy waking world, the crazy dream world, and the blankness of deep sleep. You wake up and you say, wow, I had a wild dream, or I slept so deeply. Who is that I? What is the one thing that is present through all of that?
And the answer that these ancient investigators came up with is, there has to be something else, something that's always there, in the background, a constant presence that watches the waking world, watches the dream world, and is even there in deep sleep, but it's not affected by any of it. They called it the unchanging witness.
This witness has a name, the self, or in Sanskrit, the Atman. The best way to think about it is just pure awareness. It's not your body, it's not your thoughts, it's not your ego, it's the silent watcher. Kind of like a movie screen. The screen allows the whole movie, the action, the drama, the quiet scenes, to play out on it, but the screen itself is never changed by the movie. That's the Atman.
So you got to get this distinction, it's absolutely key. On one side, you've got everything that can be seen or experienced. That's the seen. It's your body, your emotions, your thoughts, the world outside. It's all constantly changing. But on the other side, you have the seer, the witness, the Atman. That's the real I. And it never changes.
And what's so powerful about this is that the self isn't something you have to go out and get. It's not a goal to achieve. It's already here. A classic text puts it this way. It's like the sun. The sun is always shining. Sometimes clouds get in the way and you can't see it. Our job isn't to create the sun. It's just to let the clouds, all our mistaken ideas about who we are, drift away.
All right, so we've found this inner witness, the Atman, and we're calling that our true self. That's a huge step. But hold on, because we're not done. In fact, we're about to hit the biggest, most mind-bending revelation of this entire line of thought. Seriously, get ready for this. To get it, we need one more piece of the puzzle, the idea of Brahman. So what is Brahman? It's the name for, well, for everything, the ultimate reality. It's not a god up in the sky. It's the fabric of existence itself, the source, the substance, the consciousness that makes up the entire universe. And this is where it all comes together. In one of the most famous teachings from the Upanishads, a teacher tells his student this one simple phrase, Tat Twam Asi. It means, you are that.
You are that. What does that even mean? It's maybe the most radical statement in history. It's saying that your inner self, that quiet witness, the Atman, isn't just a tiny piece of the universal reality, Brahman. It is Brahman. They are one and the same. The feeling that you are a separate little person in a big, scary universe, that, my friends, is the illusion.
Okay, I know, that's a lot to take in. So let's use a classic analogy to make it clearer. Think about clay. You can have 1,000 different things made of clay, right? A cup, a bowl, a statue, they all have different names and different shapes. But what are they really? At their core, they're all just clay. If you know what clay is, you know the essence of every single pot. Well, the universe is like that. It's filled with billions of different names and forms, stars, people, trees. But the single reality they're all made of is Brahman. And that inner witness inside you, it's not the pot, it's the clay.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool idea, but so what? What does this actually do for me? And that's the whole point. This isn't just some dusty old philosophical concept. It's meant to be a total game changer for how you experience your life.
So how do you get there? The traditional path lays out a few steps. First, you just listen. You hear the teaching. Then comes a really interesting part. You negate. It's a practice called neti-neti, which literally means not this, not this. You go through all the things you think you are. Am I my body? Not this. Am I my thoughts? Not this. Until all the false labels fall away. And what's left? That's when you can realize that oneness. And the final step is just to abide, to rest in that knowledge and let it sink in.
And the payoff for all this? It's freedom, real freedom. Because think about it, where do things like fear, anxiety, and suffering come from? They all happen to the little me, the personality, the body. But if your true identity is this vast, unchanging conscious reality, then you realize that stuff was never really happening to you. You, the real you, were never hurt, never scared. You were always just the witness to it all.
It just completely rewires how you see the world. It stops being this fragmented place full of separate people and things you have to compete with or be afraid of. Instead, you start to see it as one unified, beautiful expression. One single consciousness, playing, dancing, and appearing as everything and everyone you see.
So let me leave you with this one last image to chew on. An ancient poet described the whole universe like a city you see in a mirror. It looks like it's out there, solid and real, but it's really just a reflection happening inside the mirror itself. If our universe is like that, a reflection happening within consciousness, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are you a reflection of?